Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out of this world story from rSpace. What's your deal breaker? When it comes to love, we all have that one line we don't cross. Whether it's a partner's lingering connection to an ex or a sudden twist that makes you question everything. Today on rSpace, we explore when enough is enough. Up first, a girlfriend's past is more complicated than Opie thought. Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend because she's still friends with the guy she cheated with in her previous relationship? Me, 26, and my ex-girlfriend, 25, were together for about a year. Some weeks ago, we were hanging out with some of her friends, not the friend in question. We were playing a little quiz game, and one of the questions that popped up involved cheating. I mentioned that I hate cheaters, and after that, I noticed one of the friends give my ex-girlfriend a look, and also noticed my girlfriend got a bit uncomfortable. It was weird and got me thinking. The next day, I asked my ex-girlfriend about it. She said that she wasn't going to lie and admitted that she cheated on her ex. This was a year before she met me. I felt upset about it because she's never mentioned it before, and I asked her what happened. She mentioned that one time she got drunk, she hooked up with her friend. Let's call him Byron. Byron is a former friends with benefits of hers, and they still hang out regularly. I knew that my ex-girlfriend and Byron had a history, and while I didn't like that they hung out, I just dealt with it. I was pretty upset because not only did I find out she was a cheater, but that she still hung out with the guy. I told her I needed some time to think, and after 2 days, I decided to break up with her. I didn't want to tell her that she can't be friends with Byron, and I knew I couldn't deal with her still being friends with him, so I just removed myself. So, am I the a-hole? Let's look at some relevant comments from the community. First one says, I'm going to get downvoted for this, but it was a year before they even met. I lie by omission? Do you list every F-up you've ever done with your partners? That's some BS, mate. The OP replies, not usually, but if you're keeping what made you F up in the first place close to you, then yes. In a reply to a downvoted comment that says people cheat because they're missing something in a relationship. F off with that. If you're not getting what you need from a partner, then break up. I hope your current partner never fails to provide what you need. I bet the person you cheated with wouldn't mind though, especially since they're still in touch. There's no consensus on am I the a-hole, but a majority of comments seem to be not the a-hole. Update post, 16 days later. Since so many people took interest last time, I figured I'd update you all. So about a week after I posted my original post, my ex-girlfriend dropped by my place. She said that she wanted to get back together and that it was silly of us to break up over this. I told her that I'm just not comfortable with her friendship with Byron. She said that her cheating with Byron was a mistake, but that was in the past and she's grown. I told her that it doesn't really look like it. She goes out drinking with Byron very often, and you two were effing after you and your ex broke up. They were friends with benefits before and after her ex. I told her I'm just not taking a chance to be her next sucker. She then said, what if I cut off Byron? Can we get back together then? I was tempted for a second, to be honest. Our relationship seemed great, but I remembered some of the comments I read in my last post, and I asked her, have you been effing Byron since we broke up? I had never seen such a poor poker face. She stumbled at her words and said no. I gave her a look like, that's BS. She saw this and said, I mean, we were broken up. I just put my hands up and said, nope. I then asked her to leave. She was really upset. New update post, 8.5 months later. It's been kind of a long time since I first posted about my ex. I actually ran into her at a party recently. We talked and were cordial. We didn't talk about Byron, but she was with someone else at the party. She was uncomfortable with me meeting her new guy. I managed to catch him alone later and told him about Byron. His reaction was pretty tame. He was like, crap, really? Well, thanks for letting me know. I don't know what happened after that, but I wasted too much time with my ex. I figured I should help the next guy out. As for me, something I didn't realize is how dang good it feels to not have to worry about my girlfriend anymore. I'll be honest, even before finding out about cheating, I never felt quite comfortable with her going out drinking with Byron. But now, I feel effing amazing. I don't have to worry about my girlfriend anymore, and I wish I had left her sooner. I'm still dating around, and there has been ups and downs, but being single at this moment feels so much better than any time I spent with my ex. A couple more relevant comments. Do you feel amazing because you're not with your ex? Or do you feel amazing because you told her new beau about Byron? Years ago, my ex cheated with his old high school sweetheart. Several months after I dumped him, I ran into him at the mall with his new girlfriend. He gave me eye contact and made moves like he was going to initiate a conversation. I paid no mind to them and walked away. I wasn't even going to entertain the notion of warning her about him. Complete waste of time and energy. Let karma do her thing. The OP replies, warning him didn't give any sort of satisfaction. What made me realize how good I felt is that after seeing her, I got back home, I realized I ain't got to worry about her. I don't have to worry if she's going to get drunk with Byron. I don't have to gaslight myself by constantly saying, you can trust her. Warning her new guy gave me no personal pleasure. I just did it because I wish someone did the same when I started dating her. You made the right choice, OP, and clearly you're happier than ever. Trust is crucial in a relationship, and once it's broken, even if it happened before you two got together, it started to rebuild. Her past with Byron, especially since they still hang out, would make anyone uneasy. Honestly, should you have left sooner? Probably, yeah. But hindsight is 20/20. Do you have a similar story? Did your partner have a friend that they were a bit too close with? Share it with us in the comments below. Up next, this cheater takes cuddling to the next level. Would I be the a-hole for asking for paternity tests because I don't remember getting her pregnant? This is more of a request for advice than an am I the a-hole post, but here it is. I, male 35, have been with my wife, female 33, for the last 10 years, and we got married 3 years ago. For the past 6 months, our sex life has been non-existent, mainly because I travel for work a couple of times a month. When I'm home, I work long hours. I try my best to help with the housework and spend time with my wife, but I pass out the second I lie down. My energy level is depleted. My wife quit her job when we got married, so I can't just take a break from work. It was her choice. I had no say in it. Today, she told me that she's pregnant. I was shocked because the last time we had sex was many months ago. So I joked, "You got pregnant from cuddling? That's the closest we've had to intimacy." She kept insisting, "Don't you remember?" I told her I honestly didn't. She said, "Well, we started making out, then you kind of passed out, so I just rode you." "Oh well." And she giggled. I asked her, "While I was passed out?" She said, "No, you were kind of awake. You had a big smile afterward. What's the big deal here?" I told her that I would at least remember some of it. Come on. She got mad and asked if I was accusing her of something. I said no, but I'm just very confused. Am I the a-hole for thinking my wife might have cheated on me? I've been home on occasion, so my traveling hasn't been constant. Do I need her permission to get a paternity test? If she hasn't cheated, why don't I feel happy and joyful? I feel like an a-hole. Update. I got a lot of DMs asking for an update. I'll be seeing a lawyer this week, and then I can share more. I checked her phone, I'm not proud of it, and yes, she and my brother bonded over feeling like lonely spouses who are neglected by their partners. While I was away from my work trips, he would tell his wife he was working night shifts and would have sleepovers at our place. They both acknowledged how the arrangement felt both right and wrong, as neither of them wanted to leave their spouses, but still enjoyed the physical and emotional aspect of the affair. When I confronted her, she got angry about me going through her phone and said she felt violated. Honestly, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She insisted the baby is probably mine because we've been having quickies. According to her, it happened more than once, when I was half asleep, and she said, "I only wanted your baby." I told her I don't believe a single word she says. I told her she needs to move out, and we'll figure out what to do after the paternity test. I also told her I'm canceling all her extracurricular activities because they're not my responsibility anymore. She said I'm financially abusing her, but to be honest, I really don't care. I told her I'd be coming to her next baby appointment because I need to talk to her family doctor. She's currently staying at her best friend's place. Today, she messaged me saying she's spotting and blaming me for it, claiming I've stressed her out and increased her chances of miscarriage. She said I'm a crappy father and an abusive spouse. Honestly, I'm not even sure if she's ever been pregnant. I asked if she needed a ride to the hospital or her friend's address so I could take her. She didn't answer. So here I am. I blocked my brother from everywhere. I don't have a brother anymore. It's not unreasonable to want a paternity test. You have every right to know if this baby is yours, especially given the circumstances. Regarding your wife's accusations of financial abuse, that feels more like a deflection than a valid concern. Setting boundaries and cutting her off like that is totally understandable. Not only that, but feeling violated after you went through her phone, even though her and your brother have been playing house while you're away? Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Not. What would you do in this situation? Lastly, the sands of this next relationship are shifting. Am I the a-hole for wanting to go through with a divorce after wife requests one and then changes her mind? After returning from a month-long trip to Florida with her friends, she decided to tell me how unhappy she was and wanted to talk about divorce. Also mentioned to one of her kids that she was going to retire early and return to Florida and live on the beach. I cannot retire for another 13 years and she knows this. She has always been secretive with her phone, sleeps with it under her pillow and carries it with her everywhere in the house. Started to take 3-hour walks where she would shower, change clothes, and put on perfume before going. Had regular discussions with me about how we should divide everything in the divorce. During these discussions, I would also get a reminder of how unhappy she is. As negotiations continued, she decided that I would keep the house so she could keep all of her retirement for her future beach life. She also made 2 return trips to Florida in a month's span, supposedly by herself, but she was very cryptic about them. The last one she did not tell the kids about them and did not communicate to them for a whole 5 days. Final red flag is when she accidentally sent a text to our daughter with a sexually explicit message that I assume was meant for her boyfriend or affair partner. Now that it is time for her to move out, she doesn't want to get a divorce. Am I the a-hole for wanting to follow through with it? Let's get the top comment from the responses. She didn't change her mind. Sounds like her new boyfriend in Florida didn't work out. There's no consensus spot on Am I the a-hole, but a majority were not the a-hole. Update post, September 20th, 2024. The next day. Update. Yes, I'm a real person. Yes, I did confront her about all of this, but she still denies it. Claims the message was meant for me. However, I never received it other than the screenshot from when I was informed about it. Asked her why she didn't just go live with this person unless he is married too. Also told her that I am not a placeholder until she can move in with this guy or find a new one if he bailed. Already spoke to a lawyer earlier this week when she was all in on the divorce. I feel there is no going back after this and want to see the divorce through to the end. She started the cold feet routine soon after meeting with the attorney. Yes, I know asking the question here makes me seem like an idiot. All of her actions did make me angry and I wasn't ignoring them. Thank you everyone for your thoughts on the matter. Oh boy, this definitely is not a text you want to receive from your mom. That kind of slip is hard to ignore, especially considering the context of everything else that's been happening. Not only that, but it sounds like she may be experiencing buyer's remorse now that she's faced with the reality of leaving the marriage and potentially being on her own. Sucks to suck, I guess. Have you ever received a risky text that was meant for someone else? Share your experience with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time.